If you're looking to move to the Phoenix, Arizona area and you want a super quiet and remote place to live, this video is going to be for you, as we're going to be walking you through the pros and the cons of one of Phoenix's lesser known suburbs, and this is Santan Valley. And like I said, in this video, we'll cover the good and the bad. That way, if you're thinking about making a move to the Santan Valley or just Phoenix in general, you already have a good idea of what Santan Valley is. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So, just a quick little headliner, Santan Valley, it's about 45 miles away from downtown Phoenix, and the average age is only about 34. So it's a very young, it's a very young city. There's a ton of younger people that live here. That's what brings it down, obviously. And it's, like I said, it's about an hour away from the Phoenix downtown area. It's a population of about 100,000 people. Now, getting right into it, our first pro is going to be the affordability. So right now I'm helping one of the neighbors in here in Copper Basin sell their house. They have a 2,000 square foot house. We're only asking $360,000. Nowhere else in the Phoenix Valley are you going to be able to find a house that big at that price, but B, just in the condition as well. So Santan Valley, it's definitely way more affordable than its neighbors in like Queen Creek or Gilbert, but a little bit less than the Florence or Coolidge area. The really nice thing that it does have is with the affordability of houses, rent, you can rent a house for $18,000, $19,000, $2,000 for a house. Anywhere else in the Phoenix Valley, that's pretty much unheard of, especially if you want to be in the Gilbert area. So that is definitely one of the biggest reasons why people move down here. It doesn't matter so much now, but about 10 years ago, these homes were $100,000. So affordability is literally the #1 main reason why people choose to live out here in the Santan Valley, and we'll cover a bunch of others next. But that is the very first pro. Everybody that's thinking about moving down here, the affordability is very good here in Santan Valley. Now, on the flip side of that, why there's typically in a big city, there's a reason why an area is a lot cheaper than others. The main factor is going to be its location and proximity away from like the Phoenix area. So like I said, it's about 45 miles as the crow flies to downtown Phoenix, to the Sky Harbor area, to the Chase Field and all the stuff downtown. But even, back into just like Gilbert or Chandler, it's at least 25 minutes. So, the proximity is definitely a major con. And this was one of the main reasons why my wife and I chose not to move down to the Santan Valley is like, I drive a lot for work. So if I need to get to the west side, or for you, let's say that you're thinking about moving to Phoenix, you have family that's in like the Las Vegas or Los Angeles area, because that's an extra hour and a half at least if you live down here in the Santan Valley area. So that is a huge con of why most people choose not to live quite down this far. They're okay, getting a little bit smaller house and living, paying a little bit more for their house and living in the Queen Creek or Gilbert area. They want to be down here in the East Valley. So definitely a major con. If you are thinking about making a move down to Santan and you live downtown, just know that you're signing up for an hour commute at least, and we'll get into that with our next con about why. But just know that if it's a huge con of why people do not choose to move down to the Santan Valley area is just the proximity to the rest of the Phoenix Valley and the downtown and Sky Harbor area. One thing to note though that is kind of nice is Mesa Gateway. So if you're flying into like, if you have family in like Sioux Falls or Bozeman or like a little bit like smaller like Boise, for example, just know that that airport is only about 25 minutes just straight north. So definitely much more attractive if you have family in that area. But if you're flying out of Sky Harbor, if you're working downtown, if you work in like the Old Town Scottsdale area, you're just signing up for at least an hour commute. Now, a major pro, the Santan Valley, the developers have done an absolutely amazing job designing their neighborhoods. So I'm in Copper Basin right now. This is an amazing neighborhood. You got Johnson Ranch, you got Skyline Ranch. They do such a good job of developing neighborhoods and giving people what they want, right? So for example, like this is all just a community park. There's so much green space. You could hit golf balls. You could hit like you could hit a 3-wood down here. There's so much room down here this is pretty much universal for Santan Ranch or Santan Valley. There we go. They've done such a good job developing neighborhoods. You have, ton of like sport courts. You have playgrounds everywhere, and this is a major playground, but even like in neighborhoods they have like smaller little ones all throughout. So if you want a ton of green space, if you want really that younger family feel where you want playgrounds and green space, this is going to be an amazing spot for you. You don't really see this too often throughout in neighborhoods in like the Gilbert. Yes, you'll get green patches like this, but not this much space. That is a huge pro of why people move down to the Santan Valley area. And honestly, just across, this is a school just on the other side of this. If you're living in Copper Basin, they have a rec center. So it's $70 a month, part of your HOA. You get access to a pool, sporting courts, everything. It's like Maricopa, if you've seen our Maricopa video. So definitely a huge pro is how well they have set up their neighborhoods and just giving people what they want. They want green space, they want playgrounds, and they want you know, homes are a little bit tighter, but they do such a good job of giving you the amenities that you want once you're actually in the neighborhood that you're living in. Now, for the second con, now we talked a little bit about, you know, how far it is away from like the downtown Phoenix area. Another major reason the second con is the traffic getting out of here is a nightmare. Every single day, you know, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then 3 p.m. to about 5:30, the traffic getting in and out is terrible. Main reason why, it's just all stoplights. So there's two major ways in. You got Ironwood on the east side, and then you have Hunt Highway kind of going through the main stretch of Santan Valley. Those are just they're just stoplights, stoplighted roads. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and that was one of the things that drove me absolutely nuts, was that there wasn't major highways everywhere. Phoenix, for the most part, does a really good job of that. Santan Valley does not. That's a huge major con. It's really slow getting in and out. Ironwood's better, but Hunt Highway, if you have to go, you know, further west, Hunt Highway is very, very, very slow. So, you know, hopefully down the road that they, you know, take one of those and turn it into like a freeway where you can go 55 or 65. I think if they did that, this area would explode with even more people than it already has. But that is a huge reason why I chose not to live down here. Not only, you know, if it's far, that's one thing, but if it's far and slow, that is a major con. So that I had to make sure that I brought it up to you guys, and it's a major reason why most people don't live down here. The traffic getting in and out is very, very slow. Guys, if you like this video so far, make sure you click that like button. That way we know you like the content that we're producing. And comment down below. I want to know your thoughts. Hey, where are you moving from if you're thinking about moving here to Phoenix? And what have you thought about my list so far? Guys, my name is Eric. I help people just like you every single day that are thinking about making the move to the Phoenix, Arizona area. Guys, I moved from Nebraska, and I love Phoenix, Arizona so much that I changed my entire career to help people just like you that are thinking about moving down here. I absolutely love it. Pause the video, reach out to us. We want to hear from you, and we want to see how we can help you change your life and move down. I love Phoenix, Arizona, guys, and so I really want to help you change your life. So, guys, reach out to us. Our contact information is down below. So the third reason of why Santan Valley is a really, really good spot to live is because, similar to like Mesa or like the Ahwatukee area, if you've seen those videos, if you haven't, go check them out. But Santan Valley is a commuter city. Why is that a pro, Eric? That doesn't make any sense. The main reason is because when you come back home from work, it is so quiet down here. Not only is it so quiet, so, you know, the crime rates are really, really low. There's really not a lot of activity going on within like the neighborhoods. You see people going for like walks. It's a very active city as well, but it's just so nice that when you come home, it's super, super quiet. You're not dealing with, like, you know, some of the riffraff of living in the city. This is suburb living at its finest. It is so quiet when you get back home. And everybody, you know, once they're home, they just want to relax. They want to go for a walk. They want to go for a bike ride and just enjoy the beautiful weather that we have down here. So it gets very, very quiet at night. Not only that, if you're a stargazer, the Santan Valley area is really, really pretty because you can see the stars. You're way outside of the city. It feels like you're in a place, you know, that's bigger than like just Santan Valley, right? You're in the wide world. So Santan Valley, it's a very, very cool spot for that aspect. I'm telling you, it gets dead silent down here. It's a very, very quiet place to live, and that is a huge major reason why people want to live down here. They want to get away from the city. They want to live in a commuter city, and it is very quiet down here. I'm telling you, I've been at this park for, you know, 30 minutes to an hour, and there is nobody. Now, this is kind of the middle part of the day, but it gets super quiet down here. It's an amazing spot to live, and that is a huge reason why people love living down here. Now, a con, so this con is interesting because if you go online and you look at like the school ratings from niche.com, they are definitely a little bit lower than some of the other areas, you know, in the Gilbert area or Chandler. But the people that I mentioned earlier that were helped sell in their house, they work in the school districts here in Santan Valley, and they're like, Eric, it's not as bad as the ratings look. They have, you know, the students are very, very well respected to the teachers, and the facilities are in good shape. So, you know, you definitely got to take it for a grain of salt, right? They are not as good. They have, the teacher, she mentioned that to me. She said, Eric, they're not quite as good as the Gilbert and Chandler area in terms of funding, but they are still good schools. And the nice thing too, they are building so many new homes down here that, you know, when you build new homes, what else do you get? You get new infrastructure, you get new grocery stores, you get new schools. You know, one thing to note, you know, the property taxes may have to go up to go around the new schools area. But just know that right now, if you are researching, I do have to mention it because there's a ton of people that ask me, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Santan Valley. How are the schools? On paper, You know, if you go on there, they're not the best 3, 4, 5 stars out of 10. But, you know, just speaking with actual teachers who are on the ground, boots on the ground, right? They're actually teaching the youth of America. They say the ratings aren't as bad as they appear. It really comes down to a lot of the funding. Like I said, Gilbert and Chandler are a little bit more well-funded than the Santan Valley schools, but they are still very good. So I have to include it here, unfortunately, as it will come up in your search. But just know that they're not as bad as they appear. Now guys, if you have seen any of my other videos, you guys know I absolutely love to golf. That is the main reason why I moved down here from Nebraska, the cold, dark, gloomy winters, is to play golf and to be able to play 12 months a year. So Santan Valley has 2 really good public courses, and then they have actually a private golf course as well in Quintera. So that in Quintera, it's on the border of Santan and Queen Creek. I'm including it in this video because you have to know about it. So if you want a private gated community, and we'll do a vlog of it eventually, but if you want a private golf course where you know, private social club and all that gated community, and Quintera is going to be an amazing spot for you. But if you are, you know, me and you just love to go play the public tracks, Johnson Ranch and Post and Butte. Post and Butte's technically in Florence, but again, it is 5 minutes away from where I'm standing right now. 2 amazing courses. Johnson Ranch has awesome practice facilities. They have a huge, large, flat putting green. If you're like me, that is so important because I want to know, like when I'm putting, how smooth is my stroke. I don't need major breakers when I'm putting. And then they have a really nice, fully equipped driving range as well. So Johnson Ranch, really good. Same thing with Post and Butte. And the nice thing with these 2 courses, guys, is that nobody drives down here to play them. Most of the play is only from locals, so they stay really quiet, especially in the summertime. The summertime is by far the best time to play them because there's absolutely nobody out there. It's a ghost town. Prices in a winter, they can get a little bit more expensive than other areas in the Phoenix Valley, but you know, in the summertime, they are so good and nobody is out there. So 2 amazing golf courses. That is a huge pro for why people move down to, or why I would consider moving down to Santan, is that you have access to 2 amazing golf courses and this is not just in this area, guys. This is the entire Phoenix area. 2 really solid courses that highly recommend playing. Now guys, again, before we get into our last con and our last pro, if you liked the video, make sure you click the like button and comment down below. I want to know your thoughts about my list so far and where are you coming from. And guys, again, if you're thinking about moving, pause the video, reach out to us. Our contact information is down below. We really want to hear from you and see how we can help you. So moving on to our last con about moving to Santan Valley. Last con is definitely that there's a little bit more limited, you know, job opportunities. So as I mentioned at the start, there's only about 100,000 people that work in Santan Valley, and most of the jobs here are only going to be, you know, like trades. So like electrician, plumber, you know, welding. That's a big one down here. You know, school teachers, right? Or like more like retail. So like you're working in grocery stores or like fast food or restaurants. That's going to be the main industries down here in Santan Valley. So if you're, you know, more like white collar jobs, you're going to have to drive into the city. And that is why those are the 2 major cons about living here in Santan Valley, is that if you do have more of a white collar job, you got to drive into, you know, the Gilbert area or Chandler or downtown Phoenix, which can result in about an hour. So that is definitely a major con, is that there's not a ton of jobs here locally in the Santan Valley. But again, the nice thing, if you do have your own trade, right? If you do run your own AC or roofing company, there's 100,000 people that live here, so there's plenty of business to go around. It's just, can you come in and swoop it, right, and take some market share from somebody else. So definitely a major con that there's not a lot of white collar jobs here. Most of it, you know, you're either working for the schools, the retail, like we said, or you're doing like a trade out. There's not a ton of, you know, office white collar jobs here in the Santan Valley, and that is definitely a con. If you're thinking about moving to Santan, definitely a con about moving here. And guys, finally, our last pro, and one of the best parts about living down here in Santan Valley is definitely the outdoor activities. So you guys already know, we talked about the 2 amazing golf courses. We've talked about how all these neighborhoods, like right now, I hope you can see it. You know, this guy's just out here playing catch with this dog. You see this all the time. I just saw a couple people walking. You might have seen them in the video earlier. There's a ton of people that, you know, go biking around here, but you also have super easy access to the Santan mountain range. There's a couple little smaller mountains. They're not big like Camelback or Piestewa, but they're definitely a little bit smaller that you can get out. You can go hike, you can go mountain biking, you can take your dune buggy out here. There's so much desert out here in the Santan Valley, Florence, Coolidge area. There's a ton of freedom, so ton of outdoor activities. really good spot. If you love to be outside in a super quiet space, Santan Valley is going to be an amazing place for you. So guys, that wraps it up for our pros and cons about Santan Valley. Guys, again, if you're thinking about making the move, please pause the video and reach out to us, and our contact information is down below. We really want to help. We love hearing people that are moving from like the cold, dark climates down to the beautiful and sunny Phoenix, Arizona area, because that's exactly why we moved. So guys, pause the video and reach out to us. Thank you for watching, and check out the other videos on our channel. We cover everything there is to know about moving to Phoenix. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.